Of the weak and the innocent, so we let our voice be heard every single weeknight. Unapologetic, black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbait. Trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, trap squad, hey squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap squad, trap squad.
Clickbaity political.
Yo, what's up?
We lost one.
We lost.
Don't say we lost nobody. Y'all trying to get rid of me. Let me fix my camera.
You got the wrong camera selected.
You know I do. Would I be anything other than me? Boom.
Oh, he got the aerial view. What up, man?
Oh, God. Here we go.
Hold on. We gotta wait. Let's get a full screen on our brother. How he maxing? Look at the guitar and the drum set and the pool. You must be in the man cave.
Indeed, I am. Your streaming zone right here.
What's that? Say it one more time.
This is where I'm streaming from now on.
Oh, I love it. I love it, brother.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Shoot, and then come down there and play on some pool. I jump on the guitar. You jump on the drum. You play guitar, man?
I'm taking lessons.
Nice. Well, gentlemen, Marcus, it's in your hands, man.
Welcome to another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. I am one of your three hosts, Marcus Farrell, coming to you live from a hotel room somewhere in Georgia. I today have finally found a place and an idea and a time period on when I'm going to get out of this hotel room. So that's a very important thing for me personally. And also I am joined by my Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap co-host, Pastor Ben Dixon, and Mayor Mondale Robinson. Today, we're going to take you through a couple of things that we have been thinking about always. Before I pass it over to my teammates, I want to let everybody know that y'all know we talk here at Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap offline, right? And I just want to point out one thing. Captain K-Hive, who is right here.
Man, we're not about to do this.
Oh boy. Oh boy,
has recently been cooking greens in his bathtub.
Not in my bathtub.
Washing greens in his bathtub. And I just want to say the ancestors and also the people of Enfield, North Carolina, are very ashamed of that man. So that's why he has the gray bodysuit on right now, because he should be put in a prison. Thanks a lot.
Wait.
Ben Dixon, how are you, sir?
Wait a minute. What? I need some clarifications. First, did you wash them in the bathtub?
Anybody washing any food in the bathtub is absolutely disgusting. I don't care who you are. Greens, if your sink is too small to wash greens in, then you don't have a kitchen. You have an outhouse. The proper way to wash greens is you fill the sink up with water. You put a half a cup of vinegar in there. You put 4 teaspoons of salt. You let it soak for 15 minutes. Halfway through, you drain that water off. You rub those greens together. And then you take the stems off. You break them off into bite-sized pieces. You refill that sink up and you wash until they are clean. Once they are clean, then you cook them things.
Hey, Ben, he talking about he cooked some collard greens. That boy had kale.
Bro, if I really need y'all to come up here and let me cook for y'all so y'all can understand that I'm not what you should be talking about when it comes to that kitchen.
All right.
Okay.
No.
I am Viola Kimball's grandson.
I was raised in a soul food restaurant,
let me tell you my recipe real quick, Marcus.
All right, talk to me.
All right, so this is what we do. Ben, check it out.
I'm listening.
So when I'm on my last rinse of my greens, I heat up some oil, garlic and herb, olive oil. Put some onions in there, let them brown, add garlic, let that start get fragrant. Once it gets fragrant, then you go ahead and throw in that chicken stock, about 4 or 5 cups if you got 2 bunches of greens. Once you do that, you cut up that turkey, smoked turkey neck or turkey wings, whatever you want to use, put that in there. Once it starts boiling, put them greens in there that you've already washed, not in the tub. Let it boil for turn it down, let it slow cook for an hour and a half. You got greens.
Come on now.
Yeah, you got greens.
I hear your recipe.
And I cook potato au gratin for the wife too, you know what I'm saying? So I, can't even tell you that recipe because I'm trying to sell that one.
Well, listen, real quick, man. Speaking of like cooking, I do want to bring up one thing. Shout out to Francis Farrell, my 96-year-old grandmother. I don't know if I told everybody that, like in the past year and a half, I lost all of my patriarchs of my family: my uncle, my dad, my grandmother's husband, my grandfather, who owned Farrell's restaurant and cooked for Southside Tallahassee. So as you bring up your recipes, I'm just thinking today I was able to kick it with this 95-year-old woman who still has all of her recipes like up here. I downloaded some, and I also was blessed enough to download my grandfather's whole restaurant menu before he passed away. So I haven't used it in the kitchen yet, but I mean, and also the terms that they use, like a smidgen. And,
you have to.
In a pinch.
Yeah, my wife is always. My wife is like, how you gonna recook all your meals? Because I cook for my wife. I do like 98% of the cooking in this house. So my wife is like, how you gonna remember it if you you ain't got no recipe, you ain't measuring? And it's like, it's called soul food for a reason. But I think Marcus, thinking about your grandfather and his legacy and your legacy for the next generation, what you might want to think about, bro, is figuring out like which was like your 20, 30 favorite recipes, and then writing a story about like what you remember about those recipes and how it reminds you of your granddad. And you got a cookbook already, bro.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? What I'm going to do within the next 24 hours is I'm going to post a picture of my grandfather cleaning greens, right? Like literally, like just, in
a wash.
Yeah. No, not in the back. Now you're messing with the ancestors. See, I'm messing with you. All right?
No, come on, you from the country, boy. You know them silver tubs.
I'm gonna tell you how you clean them. He put it like first we got them straight from the garden, and then before we wash them or anything, you got to pick them off the stem because he liked them already picked off before he put them in the before he cleaned them or anything like that. So he would like cut them with his hands, and he used a big Dollar General clothes laundry tub to put them in, and another tub to like already cut ones out. And he said, well, I cut them early because it expands the flavor. I let them air out a little bit. And I think it's actually a thing that actually worked. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I got to see my grandma today, man, and I'm happy that you're cooking, Ben. Ben, what's up with you, dog? You cooking in the tub?
Look, man.
On these internet streets, boy.
Look, I used to be the cook of the house. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first got married, I used to do like the best grits in this side of Mississippi. Then my wife started taking my recipes and start doing it, and then she started doing it way better than I ever could do it. So now I don't even cook no more. So I'll be honest with you, my wife doing like I started off doing 98% of the cooking. My wife does 98% of the cooking, and every time this is why I'm over picking my teeth now. I'm trying to eat between doing the last show I just did and this one because she back there cooking so good. But everything's good with me, man. I'm glad to be here with you fellas. Love and respect to both of y'all. Love what we doing here at Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Thank you all so much for supporting us. I need you to smash that like button. I need you to smash that share button, and I need you to send up some acorns and some squirrels. Yeah, see, I've gone along with the squirrel gang obviously for years now, but we're gonna run it. We're gonna run it in the ground. Send up some squirrels. Share this link because we about to get down to business here.
Yeah, man. Hey, and to all of our chosen ones and the chosen few that are watching us right now, thank y'all for y'all support. Y'all make us what it is. If you don't mind, hit that share button right now. If you're on Twitter or if you're watching this anywhere, hit that share button. If you're on Facebook, I think we're on Facebook. If we're not on Facebook, hit that share button. And if you're on Ben Dixon's channel, then share this to your page right now, man. Let's expand this audience, chosen ones.
Let me tell people why it's so important. I'm glad, Ben. I'm glad you said that because we need to get in the habit of telling people to subscribe and like and share because it's our job to screw up the algorithm that does not prioritize progressive ideas. And when you subscribe and like, that's exactly what you're doing. You're telling the computers you will not choose what's for me to hear and not for me to hear. So I appreciate you reminding us, Ben, of how important that is, because right now in this moment, as we see what's going on, and we're about to get into the news, and we're going to talk about the confirmation hearing and the Jasmine Crockett, Nancy Mace thing. We're going to talk about all of that, but it's important that people understand that you are not obligated to turn to CNN and listen to them do that both sidism. It's not obligated to go to MSNBC where they're curtailing and trying to decide on how they get closer to Trump and also hold on to views. And we damn sure know you're not going to Fox News. So you can mess up the algorithm, and you can do it with three cute brothers.
Look, that's the biggest thing right there. The algorithm is against us. This is in all of my years of y'all knowing me, people who've been on my channel for 10 years. I've been on this thing for a decade. I should have a lot more subscribers than I do, but I no different conversation. But I've never once complained about the algorithm. I've always just said, we're gonna fight. But when you look at what they are intentionally and specifically doing, amplifying conservatives right now and throttling and suppressing us, it's a fight. And if we don't open up our mouth and tell y'all about this fight, we're going to keep getting drowned out here in the algorithm. We are the hardest hitting three brothers talking about politics in the nation.
Yeah, listen, man, I want to even go a step further than that. These folks really want us to not only not have an option for progressive politics, but they're trying to slowly move you progressives to the right. Right. And here's my thing. If the right, I'm gonna say my mind, if the right presents something that's better for you and you actually think it makes sense for your life, that's on you. But also remember who you are as a human being in that process. Because I'm gonna tell you like this right here. This stuff is intentional. I mean, if you're a TikTok person, then let me tell you something. They're gonna come for. They're trying to sell to Elon Musk right now. Excuse my Twitter page. I do like the ugly ass cyber trucks just because they got a cool inside. But let me tell you something. But listen. If Elon buys TikTok, then we are one step closer to authoritarianism. And I need you guys to kind of sort of understand exactly what's going on here. Now, on the same token, you know. If you guys want to keep things the same and not blow up clickbaity political thirst trap, then you are benefiting fascism.
Yeah. Completely. Absolutely. You're benefiting mediocre white men. You're benefiting white supremacy.
Supremacy. I love that. That.
Spread it around. White supremacy has never been supreme. It has always been a mockery. And I don't know if there's a greater mockery than what we saw today with this. And if y'all don't mind, I wanted to go right into this conversation because I know both of you brothers served. Both of you brothers served underneath a Secretary of Defense who was, it doesn't matter what year you served. They were immeasurably more qualified than this clown that MAGA is pushing on the United States of America. Now, I got a whole 3 minutes worth of clips, but before I play any of that, I want to yield to you two as veterans and just give your hot take and your feeling about this clown, Pete Hegseth, who they look like they are going to be able to confirm him now.
Listen, the sad part, go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry, brother. You older than me.
That's all right. No, I mean, so the veteran in me, you know, I'm going to age myself, but I was a veteran during a time period where Clinton was the president and W was the president. And I hate to be like this, but damn, W had a better Secretary of Defense pick than this guy right here, right? We have to be very careful. The thing about veterans, right, is veterans are going to do their job, but it doesn't necessarily mean they want to do BS, right? It doesn't necessarily mean every veteran is not in the military that's saying, okay, boss, I'm fine with that. And that goes all the way up, right? Like we're talking about 4-star generals, right? 5-star generals, right? These they're gonna do what their commander in chief says. But here's my concern, like I keep bringing up to Mondale and Ben. Donald Trump does not want to be. He does not want to be a commander in chief.
That part.
He just doesn't want to be because he's not serious about it. You're not serious when you pick guys like this right here. I'm gonna let Ben, when you run these clips, I'm gonna let everybody think what they want, like say what they want. But like, if you pick a guy like this, you're showing me that you do not want to take our veterans, our active duty military members. You don't want to take our relationships in foreign countries with where our bases are right now serious, right? And you're putting American lives at danger. Let me tell you something. Yokosuka, Japan, in the 90s, when Marines were found guilty of essaying a local person.
Oh, it was Marines and Navy, and it was Iwakuni.
Yeah, it was Iwakuni, and it was Navy and Marines. Don't get it right. They jeopardized the relationship with not only that local area, but the whole nation of Japan, right? Yep. And I'm not sitting up here saying that like this guy's going to sit up here and allow that. But what I am saying is that we walk a tightrope when we're overseas and you're a 21-year-old and you're going through a foreign country and you're representing America and you got your uniform on or you don't have your uniform on and it's your first time overseas and you're doing all these things and then somebody makes a decision from 50,000 feet, aka Washington, D.C., aka the Pentagon, aka the White House. And all of a sudden, you got an innocent kid from Tallahassee, Florida, innocent kid from Macon, Georgia, innocent kid from, somewhere in LA that is now jeopardizing his life just by being outside. Mm-hmm. That's not protecting the troops. Mm-hmm. And decision-making like this right here, for even nominating this guy, I do think is completely whack. And I also think that this guy is not going to be the person that thinks logically when it comes down to, okay, should we go to war? Because some people look at the American military as a tool, especially if your kids aren't in it. Mm. And this is just a tool to be a bully around the world. Meanwhile, we have China and other countries that, are triple the size of our military when it comes down to ground forces that are just itching for an opportunity to go one-on-one with America. And we got to be very careful about the people who are at the top who think like this and who are giving Donald Trump, a guy who does not want to be commander-in-chief, advice. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I think Marcus, you said something. You said a lot of some things that were a sermon that equates to a sermon as it pertains to a veteran and also for active service members. But I also think what you forgot, brother, and I don't think you didn't forget it, is implied in what you said, is when situations like the appointment of Pete Hegseth as the nominee to run the largest defense agency around the world is the option for America. You're empowering these people, these wrong-minded people who believe that SA is nothing big. And it's also a nod from Trump to women to remind them that, hey, 30 days ago, this person said that women shouldn't be in combat, when we know that our sisters in combat are equally important as the brothers. And people can talk about differences and they exist, but we cannot talk about winning a war without women. It does not happen in modern world. And I think that the dastardly thing is for him to sit up there and not be able to answer that question, one. And on top of that, this bastard, out of trying to protect his own ego and his own self, wouldn't even admit that anyone who sexually assaulted an employee is disqualifying for the job he's trying to be confirmed for. And that in itself should be disqualifying, because all you had to say was, yes, that being accused and found guilty of SA is grounds for disqualification for this job. He couldn't say that, or he wouldn't say that. All he kept saying was, I never did that. And he kept talking about anonymous, even though in the fact that senators was telling him that, no, this is not anonymous. We have names of people that work with you. Names of people that work with you. And the sad part about it is you have Republican women senators who themselves are victims of SA, saying that, acting like they're warming up to Pete. Knowing the signal and message you send to women in our military, that you're about to confirm somebody who feels the way he feels about women through his actions and also his words saying that women should not be in comeback zones. This is the dastardly place we find ourselves when we believe that the election of Donald Trump is a continuation of boathism. It's not. There are real complications of electing someone like Donald Trump, who appoints famous and rich people to office simply because they are beholden to his ridiculousness. And Marcus, you said something that I think I want to add to. You said Donald Trump don't want to be commander in chief. I believe that. And I don't think it's because of the work that's required. I think Donald Trump don't want to be commander in chief is because he want to be king. He want to be king, and he feels like the military should serve him just as Caesar was served. And I think that's scary. And people are joking, saying that Donald Trump isn't serious, but this man is literally threatening to use force in Greenland, force in Panama. And people can say, oh, you're starting to sound like a dead horse with these two issues, but these are blaring and telling issues about the state of our military and the mindset of the people who are about to run this dangerous mechanism. And mind you, we have more nukes than anybody else.
Right.
And these soft-hearted brothers who don't care about nothing except for their egos are dangerous, thinking that they will be in control. So those are my 2 cents. And Ben, you can roll the foot.
Mondale, I got one more thing to add on to it. You know, when you bring up the fact that this guy doesn't believe that women should be in combat zones, you know what it makes me think about? It makes me think about the USS Comfort. Y'all know what the Comfort is? Ben, you know what the Comfort is, USS Comfort? It's a hospital ship. See, here's the thing. When 9/11 happens, when any disaster happens in the world, really, the Comfort is that boat that pulls up. And it's full of nothing but firemen, medical professionals, water, resources, and it goes into combat zones. Now, it is protected by the Geneva Convention, right? And I believe somewhere either between half or most of the staff on the Comfort is women, right? So, I mean, when you think about that, you also think about how you're endangering wartime troops. If we are to get into a skirmish or an altercation, like, you're endangering folks, because how else are you going to staff? Women are hospital corpsmen in the Navy. Women are everything in the Navy. So let's not get that wrong. But
don't forget, the Marine Corps has no corpsmen or no doctors. It's the Navy that serve us. So they are also corpsmen for Marine Corps.
Hey, pause, brother. The Navy doesn't serve y'all. Y'all are the part of the Navy.
Touche. That's true.
Straight. Okay. So you're endangering active duty members who are actually in combat zones by, like, taking away women from combat zones. And it's also like a slippery slope, because the next thing you know, well, since you can't go to a combat zone, what does that mean? That means that you don't get a wartime medal. So if you don't get a wartime medal, what's the next thing that happens? Oh, you're not up for a promotion. So you're going against a couple of other folks every time you try to get promoted to E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7. And you automatically sort of placing a certain amount of oppression. Not only this guy, I believe, has some issues with race also. So we're already talking about a United States military that still has issues with race to this day. Don't get it wrong. Even though Colin Powell used to be the top dog and different people used to be the different, like, top dogs at the time, there's a lot of black top people of the military. It doesn't necessarily mean that the day-to-day is not different. So we got to be very careful about the people that we pick. And of course, it's going to be going backwards and hustling backwards. And I feel for them, because there are places in the military, and the our pass is over, but when you're in the service, there are places and the times in the service where you feel oppressed. Mondale, you felt the same thing in different duty stations.
You ain't lying, brother. Anybody has a problem with that statement you just made, they did not or was not in the military, because we know the military is as racist as America, if not more. And we saw that in January the 6th, when we saw military being overrepresented in people who participated in January the 6th.
Right. And the last part about it is black and brown folks are overrepresented in the military. We compromise the highest part of our population in the service in general, right? So so we have to be very careful about those things.
Especially about representation.
That's right.
Being overrepresented.
Hey, let's listen in. I want to listen to a couple of these clips so we can see how he actually performed today.
Where is the reference to standards that they should be there if they can carry, if they can run? I don't see that at all, Mr. Hexeth. What I see is there's a 32-day period in which you suddenly have another description about your views of women in the military. And I just want to know, what changed in the 32 days that the song you sang is not the song you come in here today to sing?
So the concerns I have and the concerns that many have had, especially in ground combat units, is that in pursuit of certain percentages or quotas, standards have been changed.
Please give me an example. I get you're making these
Commanders
generalized
meet
statements.
quotas to have a certain number of female infantry officers, infantry enlisted, and that disparages those women.
Commanders do not have to meet quotas for the infantry. Commanders do not have to have a quota for women in the infantry. That does not exist. It does not exist. And your statements are creating the impression that these exist, because they do not. There are not quotas. We want the most lethal force. But I'm telling you, having been here for 15 years, listening to testimony about men and women in combat and the type of operations that were successful in Afghanistan and in Iraq, women were essential for many of those units. When Ranger units went in to find where the terrorists hiding in Afghanistan or in Iraq, if they had a woman in the unit, they could go in, talk to the women in a village, say, where are the terrorists hiding? Where are the weapons hiding? And get crucial information to make sure that we can win that battle.
In June of 2020, then President Trump directed.
I want to pause it there because you both hit on it already, right? The misogyny, and it goes well beyond misogyny, goes into actual, assault that he represents, that he gets away with, that he's gotten away with. My God, today. Bless you, brother. The assault, right? It is creating and reflecting a moment in American history where we're going backwards towards fully embracing this. And it's not as if it had ever really gone away. It's not as if it has ever really gone away in the military. It's not as if it's going away in American society. But now we have multiple people, from Donald Trump now to Pete Hegseth, who represent the ability to get away with sexual assault, as well as demeaning women and telling women to know their place. They don't belong on the battlefield. Just respond to that aspect again.
Why do these white women keep voting for these people? Look, man, it's all right, check this out. White women across America. Message from Marcus for America to you. You do yourself a downfall when you don't do research on what a person might be thinking. When you have a sister, because there's a lot of white women in the military. When you have a sister, a cousin, a mama, an auntie in the service, and you voted for Donald Trump, and you wonder why that woman, that woman family member of yours is stressed out because they're not getting promotions, because they're getting treated unfairly. My question to you is, who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? And why'd you vote for? I mean, don't get me wrong. We expected things like this to happen, because I know a lot of white women who voted for Trump and expected things like this to happen. And I'm gonna say, even including myself, sometimes when I didn't vote for Trump, but when I think about, because Ben and Mondale, they were pretty straight up about like their advocacy against Trump. I was straight up about my advocacy against Trump, but I don't like either party at this point. But a vote for Trump is not necessarily a vote like a vote for a certain future. A vote for Trump is the most unknown thing in the planet that's going to end up biting almost everybody, including white men. And I can't wait for this to happen. In the ass. That's all I got to say about that, Bubba.
Here's what I'll say, Ben. I'll tell you this. And I'm so glad. Listen, I'm so glad because people might miss what Elizabeth Warren is saying. He's saying that women are disqualified simply because they are women.
Right.
And that's what she was trying to point out. And his ridiculous, and people might miss this too. You see his eyes cut down to the desk because he's looking at his notes like, how did I let the senator play me like this? How did I not know that there were no quotas? Who gave me that fake information? Their information comes from the internet, dog. These people you're in the biggest moment of your life. You unauthentic, basic cheesecake with no flavor ass boy. Sorry for the language.
Hey,
you are the biggest moment of your life, and you're not set to be prepared with real facts against the Senate, thinking that they wouldn't know that there are no quotas. These are people who sit on the arm. Listen, let me say it this way, because the internet will say, oh, Mondale's crashing out. I am crashing out because I know a few things that most people don't know. Just because you're serving in the military don't mean you're qualified to run the military. Just because Donald Trump is president does not mean that democracy and everybody else that participate in this democracy does not have a voice to complain about it and also know when we're headed down the wrong path. What I've seen across every democracy in this country, this election cycle, every incumbency lost with the sway to the right. We are getting comfortable with white people realizing, because of the connectivity through technology and other things, that they are not the majority, and their way of life is no longer acceptable by people. So therefore, they're showing you who they are. They're medieval. And I'm not talking about all white people. I am talking about those that support supremacy. White.
Hey, Mondale, I'm gonna go a step further, brother. They never had the way of life they want. When you say their way of life, it's their idealized way of life.
Y'all boys be preaching on here.
Because none of them have had the way of life that they think they want to have. Even when they say make America great again.
Sure, make America great again means something to them, Marcus. It means that poor white people have more rights than black people. Their definition of make America great again, if you force them and sat down with them, it'll be back when we weren't woke. The idea of woke is a term, and I refuse to give it away to popular culture and let people think it means nothing. Woke was a term created by Marcus Garvey to remind black people that it is your job to stay aware of how white people are trying to re-enslave you. Be aware of the problems that are created to re-enslave you. Southern states creating police departments when they never had them during slavery. Black code. All of this was meant to be woke to that. So when white people say MAGA, it is only one time they can point to. And they can't say when it was Donald Trump's first presidency, because they were saying make America great again before he was ever president. So when are they going to say that? The only time they can point to is when they had the right to not listen to or adhere to the rights of other people. The problem with it is, and I heard an Asian brother say this, and I'm about to set the hornet's nest off. The problem with it is too many Asian brothers and Latino brothers and sisters, and I forgot to say, Asian brothers and sisters are not willing to say that black blood gave them the rights, and now we can't fucking coalition.
That part.
Hey, Ben, would you check the Twitter inbox real quick?
Yeah, I will. And while I do that, I want to shout out to is it Y Shell or is Shell? She's new here, listening and supporting. Shout out to you, Queen. Thank you for coming to Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. And if this is, I feel like we're in church now. If this is your first time joining us, shout yourself out in the chat. And I want to play a little bit more of this clip while I and get more of you guys' feedback on this. Let's listen in.
Where is hiding? Where are the weapons hiding? And get crucial information to make sure that we can win that battle.
In June of 2020, then President Trump directed former Secretary of Defense Mark Esper to shoot protesters in the legs in downtown D.C., an order Secretary Esper refused to comply with. Would you carry out such an order from President Trump?
Senator, I was in the Washington, D.C. National Guard unit that was in Lafayette Square during those
Would you
events,
carry
holding
out
a
an
riot
order to
shield on
shoot
behalf of my
protesters
country.
in the legs?
I saw 50
as
Secret
directed
Service agents
to
get injured
Secretary
by
Esper?
rioters trying to jump over the fence, set
Again,
the church on fire, and
You
destroy
know
a
what? That
statue.
sounds to me that you will
Chaos.
comply with such an order. You will shoot protesters in the leg.
You can't tell me whether someone who has committed a sexual assault is disqualified from being Secretary of Defense.
Man, that's
Senator,
all.
I know in my instance, and I'm talking about my instance only, it was a false claim. But you would agree with me that if someone had committed physical violence against a spouse, that would be disqualifying to serve as Secretary of Defense, correct? Senator, absolutely not have I ever done that. You would agree that that would be a disqualifying offense, would you not? Senator, you're talking about a hypothetical.
No.
Pause that.
Bro can't even admit that it's
It's not hypothetical that women get beat by their husband. It is not hypothetical that people are being SA'd by men. Stop with that. This is the noise. He's speaking to the Fox crowd because he understands John Fetterman is going to go along with the Republicans and he's going to get confirmed. There's not 4 Republicans or 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat willing to stand up against this bastard because of Donald Trump. We see it with the networks. We see it with Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg. All these people are saying, you better fall in line because we're falling in line. $40 million for Ivana, what's her name? Donald Trump's wife. A documentary about her life. $40 million to tell us that what? You got a superstar visa to be naked?
Melania did.
Melania got a $40 million
I know the visa thing. She got a documentary for $40 million.
with Bezos. Amazon gave her $40 million for her documentary. They're going to do a documentary on Melania Trump for $40 million. Roland Martin said, Martin said it should be a YouTube reel. I think it should be a YouTube ad you can skip for $40 million. This is where we are. We are selling our government. Donald Trump has now officially basically set up, we know about the Internal Revenue Service. He's setting up the External Revenue Service where other people outside of the country can give gifts to something he created. Right now, this is happening. And people are playing games, acting like democracy functions like this. Elon Musk is currently being investigated for misusing the algorithm of Twitter to benefit people and thoughts that he believes in the EU, and we can't even do that here. We created the internet, and it's been weaponized more against the marginalized people here. We just watched Zuckerberg say he's going to remove fact checking because Donald Trump said so. Fact checking is what kept Zuckerberg from being re-sued by black activists because they were allowing white people to attack black people with no repercussions. This is not for play. This is the America we live in. If it was happening in another world, we would call it a banana republic.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Because white people are doing it, and when I mean by white people, I'm talking about the institutions that uphold white supremacy. Ben, I love that word, white supremacy, and we are obligated to speak out against that.
Yeah. Marcus, you about to say something?
I feel like we're so far away from reparations right now.
Yeah,
man. White people might get it before we do.
Bro, look here. I guarantee you, white folks will vote for reparations for themselves because of what they suffered underneath wokeness before they give to black folks.
Right. I feel like
they already did it one time, didn't they?
Right. End of slavery, right?
I mean, if you think about it, they got paid for losing their enslaved people they owned.
They absolutely did.
And here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy, y'all, is that every time they leave black folks alone, we out excel them. And I'm not talking about just white people in general. I'm talking about particularly the white supremacists. Those people who got the most to say. They are so bitter because when they leave us alone, we build Black Wall Street. When they leave us alone, we build Rosewood. When they leave us alone, we build Camilla, Georgia. And then they realize, snap, I got to turn around and burn it down. And that's where we are right now. We're at the stage where they see, oh, no, the Negroes have gotten too out of control. All it was we had a little period where y'all weren't hitting us across the head in mass. You were picking us off one by one every other day, but in mass. And now they're gathering up enough guts to go back into that stage again where they want to strike and set us back. Literally, the words coming out of the mouth of a police officer I got on tape is saying that they want to set us back 3 or 4 generations with a second civil war. Right? It's all because they know if they leave black folks alone, we do what every black parent teaches us to do, especially our black daughters, what they teach us to do. We got to be twice as good to get half as much.
Hey, Ben, you know what's funny? You know what's funny is the same folks who won't leave us alone are the first people that rock a "Don't Tread on Me" flag.
Come on, man.
My mind.
Right? Yeah, like the same folks who have a major issue with black Americans doing anything, like when they shut us down and they start implementing police practices. Back to my notorious, famous, over and over again argument that a libertarian should believe in police reform, right? The same folks that say black folks should pull up themselves by their bootstraps.
Come on now.
We don't even need, matter of fact, we don't even need government subsidies to create bootstraps. Black people will go and make bootstraps out of grass outside.
Come on, bro. I'm about to say, we'll get some of them, some switches,
right?
And make them.
And for
Marcus, you ain't seen the weaving patterns of the people in South Carolina? Them Geechee folks?
Yes.
Gullah Geechee, baby.
And here's the issue. When we go and do it, they illegalize the grass. And for all those folks who are conservatives or especially the black folks, oh, they're just pain, suffering from black people. All that stuff y'all be saying about our show. Let me tell you something real quick. Y'all capping. Y'all are so full of it, because when I bring up that point right there, and y'all bring up, oh, well, y'all don't know how to do it, and then we can talk about all the times in American history up until literally last year where black folks are trying to do something on their own, by themselves.
Come on now.
Without any government help, without anybody's help, because y'all still ain't giving us loans.
Come on now.
Right? When y'all talk about that and then say, oh, we're just not willing to, work hard for it. Bro, we work hard for it. And our cities have gotten burned down. Our towns have gotten burned down.
Our governments got unelected.
Yeah, our government
governments.
Our leaders get assassinated.
And then more importantly, then they assign APEC to our communities. So we can't even have our own people. Show that picture again. Shout out to Ben America.
Can I just say,
shout out to Ben America.
Can I just say, hold on a second. Can I just say that I was at the Capitol during that protest, and there were like this lie that he's telling that Donald Trump had to go out there because people were being because the threat was people were trying to jump over the fence. People are rowdy. People were standing on the signpost. Nobody was trying to get to Donald Trump. And even if they were, he had already ran scared. He was in the bunker. So this lie that he's trying to tell that black people, because that's what he's really saying to white folk, black people in DC was coming for Donald Trump. They had to protect. They had to do something at the sea. And what blows my mind is these people out there dancing, playing drums, black, white, Asian, and brown people out there playing drums, screaming chants were so frightening to them that they needed to shoot somebody in the leg, but he can't see that. Ben, Marcus, he's not willing to see that. January 6th, nobody got shot in the leg except for the one person with glass.
Mm-hmm. Hey, shout out Dr. Ely. We appreciate it, Dr. Ely. Thank you for the $50, and we appreciate your contribution, and continue to watch our show. Would you mind even telling your cohorts and the people who work with you about what we're doing out here, just and the ones who don't like us?
Yeah, we specialize in those folks. We like to fight. I tell you that much.
Let me tell people a secret. And this is a secret only to the rest of the world. Ben and Marcus know this secret. I sit in between two brothers who I've had the deepest and the hardest fight with in my life. So when people, this might seem unrelated, but I need people to understand this. So when people say we don't know how to fight and still be in coalition, you better know that somebody's hoodwinking you. I've had my hardest fights with both of these guys to the opposite sides of me right now. And yet and still, we understand the moment and we understand why we're obligated at no gain to ourselves. And if you think, oh, well, you just said, you just sent monies to Ben, Channel, this and the third. I absolutely did. Because what people don't understand is Ben is up here giving the world 2.5, 3 hours, or an hour and a half that he should be giving to his kids because he understands the moment. He's not doing both sideism. And if you don't understand how dangerous both sideism right now, that people are taking the time away from family. Marcus is sitting cramped up in a hotel that he's been in way too long because of the lack of systems designed to protect people. There's no way Elon Musk would be in this position if his house burned down in California.
Come on.
I'm on the run, literally, from white supremacists trying to kill me. My wife can't travel as free as she wants to because the death threats are that serious. We're changing locations often because the death threats are that serious. Still, there's time to say we owe this to the world because God said, what you do for the least amongst these is how you will be judged. And that is not that we're above anybody. It is saying that there are people that really believe the BS they're getting from mainstream media, politicians, consultant class, and the right wing. And in some cases, Jink and Anna.
Oh, by the way, because
on Francesca's show tonight, I said on TY, which her podcast I think is hosted somehow on TYT or something. I said, if we are truly progressive, and if Jink is truly progressive, he need to adhere to his bosses. At the bottom of that, the lower third of his screen says, "You are the boss," talking about the viewers. If he believes that, he would save TYT and the other 75 people who are suffering through him and Anna Shenanigan, and they would step down. JR has been there since the beginning. John has been there damn near since the beginning. Why not just turn it over to them? Francesca's been there a while. Turn it over to them and step away and save that footprint that we need. Or watch the people tear it down. Because the Tower of Babel is destructive in its creation, and we need to learn how to decentralize power anyway.
I got something to add on to that, Mondale. By the way, very powerful words right there. And to the folks who are on the left that question us about why we talk from an angle of blackness, matter of fact, the angle of black maleness, right? I need you to remember something, right? Like when America gets a cold, America gets a flu.
No, Black America, black men.
Black men.
We get the bird flu.
And at the end of the day, what I want to point out is I need more white progressives, and I've been saying this since I've been working straight with Bernie in the room, in the room with Jeff Weaver, Bernie, and all his consultants. When we start addressing black issues in America, we start fixing all issues of America. So y'all progressive, y'all ain't progressive unless y'all believe in black people.
That's a fact. The first ideal America had, the first idea Americans had was black people should be free.
Come on, man. Come on now.
The root of progressivism has to center blackness until we are equal. And if you don't believe that, then you are living in that world called Narnia. And it does nothing but hurt what we're trying to build over here.
That guy right there is dope. Adriel.
I'm about to say shout out to Adriel Hampton.
What's up,
Adriel, my numbers changed. I don't know if you try to get up with me, but my number's a little different. I hit you up, man. Hit me up on Twitter.
Adriel, I'll see you tomorrow in San Francisco, baby.
That's what's up. Monday, I've been wanting to ask you all night, man. Seem like you seem like you might be wearing some Versace slippers with that kind of fit. What's on your feet, man?
Listen, so I need to let y'all know that when you have skin as glorious as mine.
Oh, you ain't got nothing on you.
There's no need for slippers, baby. These are just good feet.
Whoa!
These just beautiful feet.
need to knock the dust off them little.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, look,
Marcus,
look, one thing I am not going to do.
Marcus, unlike Biggie Smalls, I'm not trying to go from ashy to classy. So I can remember from the streets in which I come. I like my ashy. My wife gets so angry, she's like, put on lotion. And I'm like, no. The ash remind me of days when lotion was not an option, bro.
Monday, you look like you were walking around Atlanta this weekend.
Hey, I seen brothers skiing down Peachtree. What y'all got going on in Atlanta, dog?
So,
man, bro, bro. I just knew you had on some Versace's in there. I was like,
hey, what people don't know is, look, here's what I do. People don't know this, and I am not giving shout out to any corporation, but I wear slippers from Marshalls or Target or Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're not about to catch me in no Versace slippers. Nothing. I am never gonna be a billboard for any brand like that, dog.
Hey, listen, you know, Mondale one of them dudes that'll go into the jailhouse, get arrested, then make a 3-piece suit out of his.
Actually, the last time I was arrested, I was in a 3-piece suit. That was earlier. That was late last year.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna talk about that too. I'm gonna show you that video, and we're gonna watch that video on the show one night.
Yeah, shout out to the bravery of Mondale Robinson showing his toes, because I never do that. I can cross my arms and walk up a tree without even touching it. So I ain't even gonna mess around with my feet.
hey, bro, solidarity with you, Marcus. My kids be like, Dad, put on some socks.
Yeah, my wife is to me, my wife is like, to me, my wife is the most beautiful woman in the world. Her feet are gang members.
Ooh, bro.
She don't like that joke.
Man, listen. Let's move on, because we need her to let you keep on being on the show with us. I want to put up. Let me put up this other black woman. This beautiful black. There it is. Hang on. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in on that. Hang on. Oh, I can't zoom in any more than that. All right, we see y'all.
Your chest hair look like taco meat.
I keep taco meat, baby. That shows solidarity with my brown brothers.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Now, one time of that hair flip, I ain't gonna lie. The hair flip, I was like, you better flip that hair.
So, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. This sister is on the way to being the most influential black politician ever. And people don't even see what she's doing. She seems like our culture more than anybody else. So Ben, play this video and then let's talk about the video, but let's also talk about what I see out of this sister, because people try to dumb down the fact that she speaks African-American vernacular, but they think that she has a terminal degree. She has a JD, Juris Doctorate degree. So let's get in here.
Here it is. I just want to give a quick context. This is in a hearing today, and in her hearing, she presented a document for civil rights. And in the middle of the document that she presented for civil rights, Nancy Mace tried to make it about trans issues, because that's what Nancy Mace is all about exploiting right now. It's only a 33-second clip. If you don't listen closely, you're gonna miss the heat. Listen closely. Here we go.
And coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
will.
am reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that.
Order.
I am not a
Chairman,
child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not.
Okay, order.
Point of order.
Somebody's campaign.
Take it outside. Let's take it outside.
Oh, can I, real quick? First off, because Mondale touched on this earlier in the tweet, and I'm going to let him have that space to say what he wants to say. I'm going to come at it from a different place, right? Like, black culture runs America.
Period.
Right? So, if
Mark, you want to break that down for people?
Let me finish real quick. Black culture runs America. So if y'all want to take over the word woke, knowing for a fact that it came from Black culture. If your kids are running around here listening to watching ISO Speed, which I'm pretty sure your children are watching ISO Speed, right? If you watch any cartoon nowadays, there is an aspect of Blackness in every single thing that's on the television. So if you don't like Blackness, you need to take the television out of your house, because there's nothing you can watch from SportsCenter to MSNBC and now the Capitol. So for anybody making this disingenuous, I am not a child argument, not knowing what that means, then guess what? You're stupid. You're stupid. You're an idiot.
Hey.
All right, that's all I have to say.
Bundell.
Listen, for me, this is what I said. Tell me you have no Black folk in your life without saying you have no Black folk in your life. Child in the Black community means something completely different than child. And I think people think that African American vernacular is this like ghetto thing, but they forget that English in itself is a pidgin language. It is not rooted in it is a pidgin language of German. Like, so I think people forget that. So the idea that we people that 2 generations ago weren't even allowed to write this without getting killed or read this without getting killed, the fact that we now have our own version of it bothers you or makes you assume that we are stupid or dumb is the very thing that we capitalize off of. And this was beautiful. And I love how I didn't hear from any of these white supremacists talking about culture, what Black culture is or what white culture is. You just want me to talk about take it outside. Take it outside and do what?
Well, I got another word. But hey, Jasmine should have said, why? So you can get mollywop?
Come on, man.
Yeah, and she'd have been like, I am not a mop. I am not a mop. I'm a hermit. But listen, what I want people to know.
Awesome if she had just started taking off her brains.
What I want people to know is there's some truth to this ideal of like Black culture being American culture or being a large part of it, and how American culture is exported. And people don't want to talk about that. This is not to downplay anybody else's role, because I know America is a melting pot. But it is naive to believe that rap music is not the #1 way that American culture is exported throughout. Just look at how many fake rappers there are in Europe, in everywhere in the world. Look at all the Japanese men walking around with dreads. Look at all of the people. We don't even have an American cuisine. We don't call it what it is because it's really African American cuisine. Southern food is not Southern food. It is Black cooking. Everything else is pizza from Italy or noodles from Italy or something from somewhere else in this world. American food is a Black food. And I think people forget that food is so important to culture and our music is so important to culture. I mean, so I think I'm not here to downplay the role of other people's culture on this continent, but I think it is childish to pretend that American culture is not exported through the world, through Blackness. So I appreciate that you said that, Marcus. And what I will say about Nancy Mace is these people, this is the beginning of Jasmine about to cook for 4 years, because she is so well researched. She is so well planned. She is so well ready. She is so sure about the issues that she stands strong on, that she's going to make them look like idiots for the next 2.5, 4 years. I can't wait to the end of the 119th Congress to see how many Republicans be like, I don't want to do this no more with her. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene had to learn the hard way. Yes. Nancy's going to learn the hard way.
Yeah. I'm looking real hard here. I did an artificial intelligence analysis of African American vernacular English, and I'm trying to find the file. I didn't realize I should have known we would talk about it, but AAVE, Ebonics, whatever you want to label it.
African American vernacular English, baby.
We communicate at a higher dimension. And I don't mean that in some metaphysical stuff. I mean that literally. We transmit more information to the listener with AAVE than any other language, any other version.
You've been doing research.
Oh no, I don't play about this, man. I don't play about my blackness. I don't play about AI. Like one thing it's, if I had a second, I can find it for you. But what it is, say it again.
Let me blow your mind real quick and then give it back to you.
Yeah.
AAVE is a master's program. Guess where?
Harvard.
At the University of North Carolina.
Oh,
go ahead. Keep going.
But listen, because that's what it is, right? When we say IB, whatever, however we want to use B like that.
Add S to words.
We literally transmit more knowledge and more information, more meaning than the longer version of it. And so the fact that Black folks know how to take 5 words and cut it down to 2 and still say a whole lot more than you said with those 5 words, it is a higher form of language. It is a higher form of communication. So how dare these uncouth, these uncultured sub-Neanderthals try to attack Jasmine Crockett because she uses AAVE when everybody who understands that we saying stuff that y'all can't even understand. Y'all can't even pick up on it because we're transmitted at a higher dimension, more qualified, more ready for the moment. Jasmine Crockett, exactly what you said, Mundell. She is going to cook all through these next. She's going to roast these fools because not only is she well educated, not only does she know every code, every policy, every issue, she knows how to cut through the BS and create something on the fly like Bad Built Butch Body Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? She can do it impromptu. And one thing I'm not about is just, liking a politician because they're Black. What I love about her is that she fights for the fights that we fight for. If you look at what she's fighting for, she's actually fighting for the best interest of all people, but especially Black folks, and she does it with brilliance. They're not ready for her, Mundell. Go ahead.
I'm not in the chats right now because my computer's on the floor and I'm looking at the screen. But my wife just told me, trying to crack jokes back at me. Somebody in the chat said my feet were ashier than the Pacific Palisades, dog. I am not gonna do this with y'all.
Woo! Where's that one at? Where's that one at? I gotta find that one.
Ms. Rock. Well done, Ms. Robinson. Well done.
Whoever said that, hey Ben, whoever said that, we need to figure out how to get him a $20 gift card. That is night. Find out who that is. I'm sending that person a $20. Oh, who said perpetual B?
That's the one, because that was a phrase I was looking for. The perpetual B.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Who said that? That's some research as well. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey guys, I do have one thing about this, and then we can kind of move on maybe. But like, y'all think about how many times white folks in Congress have copied African American.
They all do it.
Black American vernacular. Hold on. Like, just think about it. I got one statement that I think I can at least name 15 white congressmen have used. That is pure Black. F around and find out.
Come on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I have another thing that I want to say real quick because me being fair and balanced on this show, I have to say one more thing.
Wait, did you just use Fox News slogan?
Yeah, fair and unbalanced. Fair and unbalanced.
You better take that trucker hat off.
Nah, man, it's Buc-ee's, baby. Buc-ee's. Don't you ever trip out on Buc-ee's, bro. You're going to go to hell if you mess around with Buc-ee's. Anyway, like I said, here's another thing that we need to think about that I want to actually bring up. Neoliberals don't want Jasmine Crockett in office.
You already know that, brother.
All right, so just follow what I'm saying to you.
Not Black ones or white ones.
Right. Like, so when we wonder where all the Jasmines are from, right? When we wonder where they're located, they're right here in the SWATs in Atlanta. They're right here they're in Jacksonville, Florida, running for Corrine Brown's old seat. They're in Memphis. They're in Houston, right? They're all over the place. But the problem is that, and because let's keep it real. There could be a Congress full of Jasmines, but
we get involved in primaries.
Democrats are our own they are their own barriers because they don't present a certain way, right? They don't raise money a certain way. right? They're too busy talking to real people and not making best friends with foreign interest groups that want to make sure that they vote a certain way. So as we have these conversations, I want to make sure that we keep it real about why there are not more people that are actually doing this. It's because, like, when you look at Democratic primaries all over the country, I'm going to keep bringing this up over and over and over again. We could have a lot more voices like this. Matter of fact, a Jasmine Crockett is going to get more votes than a black neoliberal any day.
Facts.
So what are we doing, fellas? Like, that's my only question. What are we doing?
I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm busy in the chat looking for Nicholas Rodriguez.
I'm looking for it too, but
Nicholas Rodriguez made that comment. So, buddy, I'm looking for you. I promise you.
I need to find that one.
Can I say something about the Palisades though? Because and I think it's good that it's good. Yeah, that comment is on the screen right now. That Steven Tyler comment.
I had to.
It's spot on. I didn't even see it till they said it, and I'm never gonna unsee it because she looks like ass.
Just to hear you breathing. Look at it.
That was a good song.
Remember, I'm past that. I can't finish that no more. Look at it. Man, all right, let me take Steven Tyler down. Go ahead. You were saying though, and Marcus, I don't want you to think we missed your point.
No, that's fine.
We're gonna elaborate on that.
You need to listen anyway.
What I want people to know though is, listen, if you've never been to California, here's something you should and you must know. Los Angeles is a county as well as a city. So all those neighborhoods you thought were neighborhoods in California, they're not neighborhoods. Those are cities. Watts, Compton, Pasadena. These are not neighborhoods in LA City. These are cities. So when y'all are blaming Karen Bass for fires that are not in her city, you're showing your ignorance. You're going along with Trump talking points. And that was my fire for Anna, dog.
Let's go a step further.
No, because I want to say one more thing.
90% of the fire chiefs in that county are white.
Marcus, hold on. Let me go further. Because this is important.
The hell? White men.
Everybody's neighborhood that burned down is not rich.
That's right.
Altadena is a historically black community. It has damn near been burned to the ground. I promise you, when black communities are burned to the ground, they never come back with the same complexion. We have just witnessed the rewriting of history. People who have been there for generations in Altadena, a middle-class black community, will never be that again. We have renters, landlords in LA right now, the county, asking the county to pass legislation to remove rent control so they can charge more money for rent.
Wow.
That's what's happening. That is a direct reason for them to get rid of black people. And we are believing just because Mel Gibson's whose house caught on fire, his $14 million, that's the only people affected. So while we joke about me being ashy as the Palisades, and we should joke about that because it's important, we should never forget that there are people whose entire lives will never be the same again.
And I hope you're wrong. I know historically you're absolutely right.
I'm not wrong, Ben.
Well, historically, I know you're right.
No, I'm gonna tell you why I'm not wrong. I'm wrong right now, Ben.
What's that?
Because we got a dumb Speaker of the House who's already talking about any crisis, any emergency resources need to come with conditions. And when Democrats was in control, we didn't do that for Florida. We didn't do that for Georgia. We should not be playing politics with emergency resources for people going through crisis in this country. And while people believe that North Carolina did not get what they need from Biden, it is a lie. The mayors in those towns told you that the government was giving them what they need. When people saying FEMA don't have what it needs, FEMA's broke. FEMA's not broke. FEMA just got new monies from the it wasn't a budget pass because we ain't passed the budget and I don't know when, but the continuation. And I think people are playing games with people's lives. People keep blaming arson. There's been no arson in California. It's the continuation of 90-mile winds that blowing embers from one neighborhood to the next, catching people's things on fire, burning down not just houses and buildings, but infrastructure. I'm talking about sewer lines, pipes, ruined. And we don't even understand. And part of the reason we don't understand is because we have too much dopamine from social media.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough reality in social media because we're not searching it and the algorithm don't give us that. People will never have the same life, Ben. We have a Speaker of the House already telling you they're going to do exactly what Trump wants to do. All these so-called budget conscious conservatives are about to have the most expensive government we've ever seen, and it won't be for nothing because we got more billionaires about to be a part of an administration than ever before. 13 or 14 billionaires in Trump administration, and I promise you, they are not out here talking about. One of the people that support Trump, rich, super ultra rich white man said, "I don't understand why the people in California don't just pick up and move somewhere else." Because you don't understand reality. This is the same thing that Donald Trump did in his first term when he said, "You need to have an ID to go grocery shop, so why don't you need it to go vote?" This man has never shopped for groceries. You don't need an ID to grocery shop. And people miss these cues because they want to, because he's appealing to what? White supremacy.
White supremacy. You're not wrong. Historically, you're not wrong in your analysis, but I hope that we can make that wrong by actively helping out those families. And specifically the Black families. And I tell you why, because just historically, as a matter of statistical fact, we do not have the resources. We do not have the capital. We don't get the loans. Don't get the investments.
Church.
These Black families who lost their homes, they are overwhelmingly on their own when it comes to getting them back. And when I say on their own, I mean they're on their own with their jobs, not with what's in savings, because we already know what was it like. Black people, the average white family had $200,000 in average. I know that's not everybody, but they had $200,000 in net worth, and Black folks had like $10.
Yep.
So those families are historically on the receiving end of, they may not go back, but if we can help them, and I know there's a lot of GoFundMe's, but as much as we can help, I think we can make that make you wrong this time, Mundell.
I would say wrong, brother. Go ahead.
So, first off, I want to just give a shout out to all the families in LA right now. Everybody, the whole area, right? Like, I'm a level set real quick. LA is going through a tough time, and I have friends that have lost their homes. I have personal friends that have lost. I have a very close friend of mine, one of my best friends in the world, who has lost his brand new condominium that he saved up damn near his whole life for. That has lost his home, and I had to figure out how to help him navigate just getting out of LA County, because he happened to have a Tesla, and there are a bunch of Teslas there on the side of the road right now, from what I understand. He had a cheaper condo in I guess the Palisades, and his house is messed up. I also want to bring up one other thing real quick. So my prayers, my love, I'm sending my love and my prayers to the people of LA County in general. I also wanted to bring up one more thing. There's a science to this thing that a lot of people are missing when they go out of their way to blame Mayor Bass, right? And there's two things. First off, eucalyptus trees. I know it sounds crazy, but eucalyptus trees. Where is this coming from? The eucalyptus tree is not, is planted all over LA County, and they are probably one of the most flammable plants that are grown in LA, right? And I mean in the world. And when they dry out, they set on fire and they spread fire all over the place. They are literally fire starters. If you know, you know. Then also we are forgetting about literally almost a historic low rate of water in the Southwest that really hasn't been solved for a very long time. And some of these problems came before Mayor Bass. Now, am I saying Mayor Bass handled everything right? No, I probably would have. I need to figure out why she didn't take New York Fire Department help. But that's
She didn't hear about that though.
Yeah, she did. Okay, all right. Well, bet. So, and I'll let you get into that. But here's my thing. I want everybody to look over here real quick. I want everybody to just look at that McDonald's because I'm pretty sure that everybody saw that site. I'm pretty sure everybody saw this clip at one point. Those are 20 to 40 mile per hour winds. 60 to 70 winds. From what I heard, 80 mile per hour winds that are flushing through one of the most highly populated metropolitan areas in America. You see those embers?
Yeah.
They're going everywhere. And that's just one place. When celebrities and very wealthy people are losing their houses, please believe me, poor people are losing their houses at a higher rate. Right? I don't care where you are. So we need to start having a little bit more empathy instead of trying to play the blame game when it comes down to, there you go. Hold on. Thank you, Adriel. We'll get into that. But we need to stop playing the blame game when it comes down to a natural disaster. Kind of sort of like whoever's in charge, specifically because it's a black woman that's in charge. Republicans are using this as look at the incompetence instead of look at the weather. Look at the water levels before Mayor Bass was even elected. Look at all the situations that are going on that made a fire. Matter of fact, I believe a fireman or somebody, one of the major fire guys of LA County said, we are literally one fire away from this whole city burning down. And this was 4 years before Mayor Bass got elected. So to me, all of these things are like bad faith arguments.
Of course,
And if you're not keeping it real, like if you look at a video like this right here, and you say this is Mayor Bass's fault, I guess for the second time on the show, I'm gonna say you're an idiot.
But that's the point.
And I think for America, this is why I want to remind people that how fragile whiteness is. More white, it's black South. Listen, people should know this. And I don't want to cry because I ain't know. Anyway, I am emotional about people's life. This is how fragile people are. There's only 5% of California's population that are black. Right? White people are gonna die. White people have died because of these fires. There's only a couple states that have offered their firefighters to help other Americans. These are the so-called, these red states are called patriotic states. And what they do for Americans in America. Not sending anybody. You know who did come here without order, without a state sanction of sending him or them?
South Africa.
Not just South Africans, because people might get that twisted with the white South Africans like Elon Musk. The black South African firefighters, and the country didn't send them. They got on a plane, went to Canada, and made their way to LA themselves. Canada, and other folk from other places. So this is a stern warning to America to look around, because your definition of patriotism is not real. It's about those who support your ideal of whiteness, and you're willing, in medieval sentence, you are willing to let other Americans die if they don't support your version of whiteness. And that's what California is showing us right now. You have stupid people saying stupid stuff. You have Mike Johnson with CNN, MSNBC, and nobody checked him, walking down the halls of Congress, the seat of our government, of democracy, saying something that was an absolutely flat out lie that there's been mismanagement based on what was going on. People are talking about $17 million that might have been cut from the firefighters budget when the budget is $800 million. And it doesn't matter if it was $3 billion. You can't stop those 90-mile winds.
That's right.
And keep that rolling, Ben. Keep that rolling. First off,
Can't stop those 90-mile winds. South African firefighters, black South African firefighters came over here to say no, not on our watch. That is the humanity of blackness.
Listen, go ahead, Marcus, because I was about to jump in there. Go.
I'm very interested in what tribe that if there is a specific like
mixture. It's a mixture tribe.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the next thing is Mondale, you got the Afrikaners, right? You got the Afrikaners, and then you got the South Africans, right? Am I correct on that?
Kill the bull.
You're right.
Kill the bull.
Right? You have Afrikaners, and you have South Africans. No matter where they came from, check this out. I don't see these folks worried about who the mayor of
Say that.
Preach.
I don't see who they're not concerned about who the mayor is. What they're concerned with is life. Okay, can we help stop these fires that are going on in a major metropolitan city that some of our brothers and sisters live in?
Look at the spirit they bring in.
Hey,
man, can we listen to this for a second?
Yeah, I want to turn it up. Let me crank it up. Here we go. Let's start again. That's love, man. That is.
If that don't hit your soul, in just a little bit, you have no empathy. If that don't hit your soul a little bit, then you got some issues going on with you.
Listen, man. These folks are better than every single MAGA member, and I don't feel the need to do a humanity comparison, but I'm about to. The humanity right there is far greater than the humanity in anyone in MAGA that I have ever met online right here in this place, in this space that we deal every single day. These folks came over, and not to mention the firefighters from Mexico who came over like a couple 100 of them came over too. The greater humanity in these people. I'm gonna go one step further. Not only do they have a greater humanity than MAGA, but I'm gonna mess with them. They got a greater humanity than all of those FBA Negroes who want to divide us from them. You're not going to divide a global solidarity of blackness when blackness this beautiful comes and stands up for us when all the rest of them are standing down. No. They are our brothers. They are our sisters. They are our gender nonconforming friends. And they are as black as the rest of us. And we belong in global solidarity, not only with everybody that's black, but everybody who's marginalized fighting against the systemic pressures.
Can we play a little bit more of that, man?
Yeah, let's hear it. Also, the prisoners doing hard work fighting the fire. My people.
Bro, I'm a little emotional right now. I just came back from South Africa. When did we come back from South Africa? In November, and I know that $10,000-$20,000 is of American dollars is what these people live off of for a year. Some of them. They're headed to one of the richest states, the richest state in this country, to fight for people who got $1 million houses.
What it said is the third richest economy in the world.
Yep.
So when people next to them, Arizona, states next to California, ain't even sitting nobody there. You got people who are making what some of these people in those states making a day. Some of those houses are being burned down. People make in a day what these guys make. People make in a day. Some of the people in that place make in a day what all of those people make in a year. And they bring that much joy. Even if they took off those yellow coats and put down their flags, some Americans in those states, some of the people houses they're fighting for, would treat them like they were criminals.
That's right.
Make it make sense, bro.
I feel like at some point on Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, Benjamin Mondale, we need to have the conversation about FBA. We need to have the whole conversation because I do believe that people from certain countries should get reparations from the people that oppressed them, right? I believe that. The separation, though, that's something that I'm not a big fan of. But what I do believe, I have to say this, I'm going to say it blatantly, is that like every country that enslaved someone, those people are owed from that country. And there are different fights. Like I'm not sitting there saying, hey, we need to dismiss anybody. This is not even an FBA viewpoint. This is a Marcus Farrell viewpoint. My viewpoint is very, very simple, right? The conversation around reparations, FBA, all that stuff, it has to happen, right?
Yeah, I think what Ben is saying though, Marcus, I think what Ben is saying.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished speaking.
Go ahead.
So here's my thing, right? Here's my thing, because here's where I come from in general. Nobody on this planet deserves oppression. And there's a lot of people on this planet who have been oppressed.
That's right.
There's a lot of people on this planet that has been oppressed, right? I think Black liberation is a worldwide thing. Black liberation is a worldwide thing, right? But I'd be off kilter to say that if you like just the same way I say to people who are trying to say reparations and then we're just gonna go get reparations. We don't need nobody else. That's cap, right? On the same token, the political effort has to be about Black Americans. And if we're gonna push other folks, then we need to make sure that they have an understanding of where they go to for their money. Because unless we do that, unless there's some universal United Nations guarantee that all of Europe gives reparations to all the people that they oppress, then we need to start talking about specifics. I hate to be like that, but that's where I'm at, and I ain't taking it from nobody over here.
Yeah, that's not the pushback. I think that is the standpoint on every person who understands humanity.
That's not the standpoint of every person.
Hold on, let me finish, Marcus. Let me finish. I heard you, and I think you're missing Ben's and through Ben's words, also my actions and my pushback on FBA. The pushback on FBA is not the delineation. It's the idea that you need to downplay or minimize or be anti-Black immigrant. And the anti-black immigrant thing is toxic behavior. So, and I've heard brothers from FBA say that they're not anti-black immigrant, and I appreciate their standpoint. But it is naive to believe when you see the leader, the creator of the term FBA, Tariq Nasheed, say things that are anti-black immigrant. It is not beneficial to the movement. I absolutely believe I am a person who knows my history all the way back past the ancestors who fought in the Civil War. Black people, I know that. And I still believe, I believe that Black Americans are owed reparations from America, from the United States, and brothers who were enslaved in Haiti and also Jamaica are also owed reparations, but from different people. But I also believe that brothers who are from Jamaica and Haiti who have been in America are owed something from America too, because reparations is not just owed for slavery.
Yeah, you can't pick and choose when we start, right? Like you can't
right.
like this.
So what I'm saying, Marcus, is it is the anti-black immigrant sentiment that exists in the FBA movement that is disgusting and off-putting. And I think that's what he's talking about.
100%. And I want to be very, 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 very specific. I am an American descendant of an enslaved person, right? I know my heritage back 7 generations here in the United States, and the only reason I can't go back any further is because of obviously slavery. I do believe in reparations and demand reparations, but the 100% way that too many of the key figures in ADOS as well, but mainly FBA, because ADOS has a good mixture. ADOS has people who are very receptive of Black immigrants and Black global solidarity. And then on the other end, they have a handful of people who are just as toxic as FBA. FBA in general, I can't speak for all of them, but certainly the piss flows down from the head. It is intentionally dividing the Black diaspora. There's full stop. Tariq Nasheed has one mission in life, and that is to divide the Black diaspora. After he made money off of it, by the way, he started off as a Pan-Africanist, right? He started off with that. One of his documentaries was on Haiti, making money off of Haiti, and now he's committed his energy. But by the way, Tariq, don't be a coward, man. You ain't got to block me, dude. You ain't got to hide from me. I ain't but 5'7", man. I weigh about 175 pounds, wet. All right.
Yeah, but
intellectually, you might want to block me. I understand that.
But you're part of a Voltron, so he better dodge you, because he can't get to the 5'7" with thinking about the 6 feet.
Come on now.
Or the 6'2" in Marcus, because we are not one. If him and his minions try, they're gonna have a problem.
Because my thing is this, man. When you divide, I appreciate that, because I should be like, hey, who got me? Nah. When you divide Blackness on a global stage, you weaken Blackness in the United States of America. We are less likely to get reparations in the United States of America if we're not a part of a global reparations. Every one of our people need to be restored. Everyone from the west coast of Africa, the people who remain, to all the inner parts of Africa that were colonized, all the way across the globe, everywhere that the British Empire didn't set. Every group of indigenous people need to be.
Can I give you a sermon, Ben? Can I give you a sermon to preach?
Okay.
Can I give you a sermon to preach, Ben?
Go for it,
Marcus. Can I give you an op-ed to write from your both? I would love to hear both of y'all speak on this topic. I heard FBA brothers all the time be like, none of them African, the N-word, none of them supported Black Americans during the 60s. Ben, can I get a Jesus speak moment from the idea that this is telling that you are as crooked as the Pharisees, FBA, because you don't recognize that at that time there were no free Black nations.
Come on.
First free Black nations happened. They were still under European rule. People don't even know that in Kenya, the birthplace of Blackness, the birthplace of mankind, you had to name your child a European first name because white people didn't want to learn ethnic names up and through the 60s and 70s, bro.
Sounds like Native Americans.
There were no free nations until the late 50s was the first one. Then after that, in the 60s, the Mau Mau movement in Kenya. Marcus, give me your point of view. Ben, bring it from a Christian, the gospel of what you're doing from the least of these. People talking about Black Africans weren't supporting Black Americans is ridiculous because they weren't given resources. We didn't have resources to give. When France left all of the Francophile countries, all of the countries they controlled in Europe, in Africa, they burned people's birth certificate. They tore up all of the institutions, all the infrastructure. They broke it down. They bombed it. Charles de Gaulle is a son of a bitch. Excuse my language. But when he flies to his airport in Paris, I'm disgusted to think that there's an airport named after this guy who burned people's birth certificates so they don't know when they were born. He burned all of their naming and all of this so that there's no history. They tore up all of the police departments and all the infrastructure. And then they want to say, look, Africa's destabilized. They're strong men. Strong men fill holes when there are vacuums. Europe created the vacuum in Africa.
That's right.
So my viewpoint is very simple, and I'm going to leave it at this, right? Reparations is a hard push, right? And there's a certain amount of civics that needs to be done in order to get reparations, right? And when I think about some of my local leaders that I grew up with in Tallahassee, and some of the state representatives, and even soon we'll see a lot more Black people who are from different countries being congressmen and being able to vote in Congress. My thing about reparations in general has been one thing: how do you get the votes to win? Yeah. Right?
How you get the votes up, Marcus?
So how do you get the votes to win? How do you get the votes to actually get reparations passed? If you're giving more smoke to Africans than you are to a congressman out of Montana, that actually can vote.
Well, I didn't know you was going with that, boy. But you about to land that plane like a boy.
There's an absolute problem with that because that doesn't match civics 101. And me being from Tallahassee, Florida, being a stick man and M1 fan, right? Like, I understand that you're not a lot of people are really willing to run up on them in City Hall. I keep saying it over and over again. So that means there has to be a diplomatic way, unless y'all have a plan to take over something, or unless you have to have a plan like the Tea Party had a plan to turn the Republican Party into a far right party, which they did successfully, even though they failed. The party's still where the Tea Party is, right? My thing is this right here, though. There's also an aspect of, even though there is an aspect of we need the votes, there also is an aspect of there can't be a, right now, if we're going to go for, if I'm going to write a bill for reparations, if I'm going to write a reparations bill,
go ahead,
all of a sudden that bill becomes Pan-African. I hate to be like that, but
go ahead.
If there's a Pan-African bill for reparations, ain't no way, boy. You know why? Ain't no way. Not even because of I don't like Africans, it's because of these white folks over here going to be like, oh, I can't vote for that. So my thing is very, so my thing is very simple. Delineation is absolutely important in this conversation.
And this is my problem. I think this is the straw man argument, and not this. And I'm not saying you're making.
Wait.
I'm not saying you're making. No, I'm not saying you're making. Listen, I'm not saying you're making a straw man argument. I'm saying that delineation is a straw man argument that was created by FBA. Africans don't have no problem delineating. When you go to Africa, and I spend a lot of time on the continent, South Africans are proud to be whatever tribe they're from, Xhosa or Zulu. These people are proud of their tribes.
Did you go to Lesotho?
Huh?
Did you go to Lesotho when you were down there?
Lesotho, I didn't go to the small, the micro nation. I didn't go there. But listen, what I'm saying. What I'm telling people though is, I think that is that when I say it's a straw man argument, I mean people don't have a problem with delineating. I don't think that Africans, and if you talk to Ebert from Politics Done Right, these people that come here are not saying that Black people in America aren't owed something from America. That's not what they're saying. We're buying into narrative that was written by other people other than us. People that said that Africans don't support African Americans. But every time I go to the continent, my wife, in her defense, she had never been to Africa. When she went to Africa for the first time, she was blown away at how loving and peaceful Black Africans and how they said to her, "Welcome home." Welcome home. It is the narrative that we are not welcome in Africa or Africans aren't going to. What happens though is their version of America or Black America is not separated from white America. They get what they give them. CNN is a large news station over there too. Not Ben Dixon, Marcus, and Mundell. Clickbaity should be as big in Africa as it is in America, because that's how we counterbalance the BS that Black people are, thugs. So I think people forget that we are talking about a people. Consider this: African nations are where we were in the early 1900s. Freedom. Think about that. They just got free in the 60s.
Yeah.
In the 60s. That's 50 some years ago. So America, where Black people were 50 years from slavery, with white supremacy still doing what white supremacy do. Exploitation. How is it that white South Africans are 3% of the population but control 97% of the world? How is it that a British company is suing people in Kenya because they found out a couple years ago that they had oil on the land, and before Kenya won its freedom through the Mau Mau rebellion, that person's family member owned that land, so now they want it back. Come on, dog. This people is like they ain't no delineation. If you steal my uncle, this is how I try to make it plain for my nephew and nieces, so they never go the way of hating their African and in the diaspora, and remain Pan-Africanist while you still fight for reparations for Black Americans. This is why I tell my nieces and nephews: if you plant an orange in an apple grove, you will never get an orange. You will never get an apple.
That's right.
You will never get an apple.
Mondale, let me say something to you, bro, because here's what I'm saying to you. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm saying there has to be a political delineation. I'm not sitting up here saying that
it is though.
Well, no, wait, pause. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. What I'm saying to you is very simple. Like there has to be I'm not talking about cultural. I'm not talking about ending Pan-Africanism. I'm not even getting close to saying not support. Like I would be a fool to tell anybody that in 1989 when I was a kid, right, that I wasn't rocking my African chain and I didn't have complete knowledge about apartheid and the things that had just happened and all the trials and tribulations. I'd be a dummy if I didn't say I am a complete supporter of Lumumba and all the leaders that have been over in Africa that either gave Black civil rights movements lessons or took Black civil rights movements lessons over there to actually move the needle. Lumumba literally died for the same thing that King died for, right? Like. So what I'm saying to you is very simple, and I'm going to keep saying this, and it has nothing to do with being anti-African, Caribbean, or anything like that. There does have to be a focus on Black Americans passing one goddamn bill. And I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to stick to that no matter what anybody says. And it doesn't have to be anti-anybody. It doesn't have to be anti-anybody else. What I'm saying is...
I think what you're articulating is what me and Bean is saying the fight for reparations should be. We should be Pan-Africanists, and we should be supportive of American descendants getting reparations for slavery.
All right, well then we good.
Not what FBA is doing.
That's not what they're doing.
I didn't blame you brothers for nothing.
No. I just want to put a fine point on it because I think I've never doubted your position.
Slickster, pimp, disgusting, painted airline, silk shark skin suits, nasty bastard. Did he block you, Ben?
He blocked me twice, man. He blocked me years ago. He hid from me, then he unblocked me.
I'm gonna tell you why he blocked you. Because Black men don't like Black men to see there and smell them. When you are a fraud, the Black man that knows your scent is your enemy. You will ruin, Ben, you will ruin this bastard's representation. As many people listen to you, they can't keep challenging you based on who he is when all they know is his past. And his past is one of pimpery.
Come on, man. Listen, and I want you to hear his words. Hear his words. The reason he blocked me the second time around was because every time he tweeted, every time I reminded him of this. And
Listen,
I don't ever want people to forget what he says here. Listen very closely.
Black as I am, they would love for me to join with them to dump on some black immigrants. There's a huge bag for that. Let me tell y'all something. I've gotten calls from these white networks wanting to put me on and give me a real big bag to get on TV and get out here and start throwing black immigrants under the bus with them. That shit, a whole tribe, a village of people got AIDS. They know they just gonna come over here and just get into black society. So what would stop them?
Jesus.
Well, let's think about that. Let's put your thinking caps on. They know African immigrants come over here. They're not going nowhere, but they're going to come right among black society.
That's before and after. Before he admits that he was offered a bag by white supremacists to attack black immigrants. And in this first clip, it sounds like he ain't gonna do it. So in this first clip, he sound like he keeping it 100. In the first clip, it sound like he's saying, y'all keep y'all money. That second clip was about a year or two later, where he started dogpiling on African immigrants all day. Then he dogpiled on the Haitians in Springfield, where they got accused of eating cats and dogs. And every time I look up, this black man is attacking black people. And he's recruiting more black people. Here's the reason I remind him every single day. Every single day. And that's why he blocked me. Because if nobody challenges these devils, they're going to grow more demons. They're going to recruit more demons. They're going to get more people to buy into this idea that black folks are to be divided around the globe. Marcus, I ain't never doubted your position on it, man, because we've talked about it quite extensively over the years. And you've actually rep one. I'll never forget, rep one. Right, that was a really extremely focused position for black people in America getting reparations, no questions. But when I say FBA, I'm not talking about the brand that they trying to put on black folks. I'm talking about this clown right here, Tariq Nasheed, who was scared of me and got a block. He blocked me for 3 years, then he unblocked me, and now he blocked me again. Why? Because he need to be exposed. This man is out here pimping blackness, dividing black people on a global stage. When we got, listen, look at what's uniting on the global stage right now. What's uniting on the global stage right now? White supremacy.
Whiteness.
Fascism. And we got this Negro, and I got words for Umar Johnson too. His step and fetch former bumpkin ass. Excuse me, Lord. But we got these fools out here.
What's your problem?
It's a lot of problem, Dr. Umar. And let's be clear. Let's be clear. As a Pan-Africanist, I have a problem with people calling Dr. Umar a Pan-Africanist. That brother is he's a scale on the same level as the bastard Tariq Nasheed.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask y'all why y'all don't like.
Hold on.
I'll play your clip. Hold tight.
I'll tell you why. He's been building a school for 30 years based off of single black women's money. What you don't know, what most people don't know is when their brother comes to a city, he's charging people to come to that city, and it's single black women mostly paying for him because they're advocating for the love that they're missing from whatever it is. And people can say what they want to about that statement. It's not being sexist. When I was in Arkansas, I seen that brother come 3 or 4 times. I was in law school, and it was always single black women paying for that brother to come, buying him food. He's a disgusting, scallywag, lying ass. I hate Umar Johnson, man. I hate that brother.
I'm gonna play you a clip.
He is a self-named prince of Pan-Africanism. He can't even own that he's not a lineage. He's trying to make his bones off the lineage of Frederick Douglass, and his people keep saying, bro, you're not in our line. I don't have time for people who are lying. He ain't no different than Jacob Ungar. Said his name wrong intentionally.
I'm gonna get you a clip in 1 second, Marcus. But go ahead. Because the clip.
Here's my thing. Right?
Why you like that Negro, Marcus?
I didn't say I like him or dislike him. I'm indifferent on both.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm indifferent on both of them, and the reason why is because I find points in what they say, and I find points in what they don't say. I don't ultimately dislike anyone who is for some version of Black liberation. Now, here's my question.
Okay.
Here's my statement with that. If it's presented wrong, then folks need to be able to defend themselves, right? But I'm not going to be the first person that goes against someone who agrees with me in some way. You know why? Because I know that there's racists that I need to convince to get reparations, right?
Well, not though.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. So therefore, if there's anybody across the board that supports my cause, I need to figure out what's the best way to get that cause done. I'm working from a level of politics. I hate to be like this, but the one thing that we don't do as Black people in general is play politics. We don't. And we can't afford not to have as many allies that we possibly can to get bills passed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need to figure out what all these FBA cats do, because if there's a reparations bill that pops up and I can't get them to support it, that's 500, 700 votes less than me getting the bill passed. I ain't saying that they right about everything that they say, but what I am saying is I'm not going to be the person that look, I'm not going to take somebody's leader and then take away their people. I'm going to go after their people. In every single election that I ran and every single person that I talked to, I'm trying to figure out how I can get the most votes to get either somebody who believes in reparations on my side, and their people to be not someone, but their people to be on my side to vote for the right thing so we can actually get it, versus me sitting back trying my hardest to impress some kind of leadership, or also being anti the whole everybody in the movement because of that. I can't do that. That's not how I work, because there's power in numbers. Now, maybe clickbaity can be the catalyst to actually getting Rep 1 passed, right? Like my idea was Rep 1. My idea was an idea that is pretty much, I think, undefeatable, right? Like if we can get moderate Democrats and complete leftists to believe in a reparations bill that includes Medicare for all, because I'm gonna tell you something, the way the DC works right now, ain't no bill gonna get passed without some kind of earmarks that make other people interested in it. So if we're willing to make other people interested in a bill, because every bill in DC right now has what? Earmarks in it.
That's right.
Am I right or wrong?
Facts.
And that's what makes
but Marcus, here's my problem. Here's my problem what you're saying. Dr. Umar Johnson last year actually came out and said he was against reparations.
I got both of those clips.
Can you play him?
See, once again, I'm very willing to admit that. But see, I'm not even talking about just Umar. I'm talking about anybody in general. In general, bro. Like if you're part. Matter of fact, I got the same smoke for a deal-liberal like James Clyburn, who mentioned the real reparations bill.
All day.
You know, just follow what I'm saying, that because this is important, right? Like, to me, reparations is important. Not who's representing it, not who's claiming that they the Godfather, Prince, King, Daddy, Papa, Pimp, or whatever the fuck that they are. I don't care about that shit. My thing is getting reparations passed. Now,
that's right.
There is a legitimate way to get reparations passed. And both of y'all up here and down here, y'all know for a fact that we need a certain amount of votes to get that shit done. Are we making friends or enemies with it? No, because this is important. Are we making friends or enemies with it? Because especially, here's the thing. We're just talking about Black people who is only a certain amount of the vote in general. We haven't even crossed over into the white folks or the Mexican folks that need to support the shit for us to get it.
That's right. That's right. All right. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. As far as their one thing I've learned about people and their following is that sometimes you just gotta be brutally honest and let people sort themselves out, whether or not they're gonna listen to the truth or whether or not they're gonna keep listening to the lies. And sometimes that requires a confrontation. That's what's happening with TYT right now. Listen, I know it's ugly and it might get ugly, and I don't want it to, but you know what? People either gonna see the truth or they're gonna stick with TYT in them, and that's okay. I want to play specifically with you when the moment I said I'm done with Umar Johnson. listen to what he says here. And listen to his framing. I might pause and play and pause it so you can hear.
The problem is Donald Trump is so popular. See, Donald Trump is a nationalist, Art. They don't want a nationalist. They don't want someone who's looking out for the best interests of America.
Pause. I got to stop there. I got to do it like a sermon.
Yeah.
Brother, if he is, let me see if he say something else.
They want someone who's looking out for the best interests of the global elites.
Play. Keep going.
That was,
And
that
that
was
is
perfect.
the Democrats.
Stop.
The
Whoa,
question-
I'm sorry.
Ben, that's the point.
Stop it for a second, because Ben, I want to hear what you guys say.
Yes. Because I want to put, can I play it again though for impact? Listen again what he said.
The problem is,
here's the one thing I want to say about that. He's wrong in his conversation off top. Donald Trump is not a nationalist.
Hold on, let's get to you. Go ahead, Ben.
Donald Trump is a populist.
I'm gonna disagree with you there.
Go ahead, Ben.
Let me play it again. I'm playing it again.
the problem is Donald Trump is so popular. See, Donald Trump is a nationalist, Art. They don't want a nationalist. They don't want someone who's looking out for the best interests of America.
Looking out for the best interests of America. Black man, when has America ever looked out for the best interests of black people?
Never.
How are you going to frame a conversation about Donald Trump being a person who's looking out for the best interests of America, and then you frame it as a nationalist? Are we not going to distinguish between white nationalism and black nationalism? Is there not a difference to you, Umar Johnson? Because white nationalism is what's killing us every single day. And if you're going to celebrate Donald Trump, oh, he's so popular. They don't want, and then he turns around and be a negative. They don't want somebody who's looking out for the best interest of America. Immediately, he has framed this as though he is 100% supportive of the ideology and the framework of Donald Trump being a nationalist who is in concern of making America great again. Can I keep playing?
So, hey, Ben, real quick question. No.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
This is a real legit question. So, just so I can get this clear, and I'm not like playing coy or anything. So, because I did just hear what he said. That's kind of nuts. Like Donald Trump and best interest of America kind of triggers me in general. Like it's like
let man keep cooking, dog. He's cooking.
Yeah. Like,
it gets worse, Marcus.
It's kind of crazy. Go ahead, play it.
It gets worse. Here we go.
They want someone who's looking out for the best interests of the global elites. And that is the Democrats. The question is, are they willing?
And that is the Democrats.
Come on. Go on. Watch this.
Trump out of the election.
Hang on. I got to back it up. Look, listen.
To cheat Trump out of the election. And that is the Democrats. The question is, are they willing to cheat Trump out of the election and risk a full-scale revolt by poor white America? That's
if you scared, say you scared. First of all, I reject the premise. Ain't nobody cheated him out of an election.
He's using Donald Trump's talking points.
I agree.
Bro. But even if, let's say peradventure, are you scared? Say you scared, black man. Because there ain't not a day in our life that we can walk around this country being afraid of white folks.
Can we also say, as a person who was a United States Marine, there's never a point where you will have yellow paint in your motherfucking camouflage because you ain't hiding from shit. You ain't blending in with nothing.
Right. Well,
on,
I'm gonna even go a step further with that, man. And like, as a person who actually worked to make sure that black people in Georgia could get elected, and then having the Secretary of State, who is now the governor, literally say out loud and literally take away 200,000 voters from pretty much mostly black voters in general, right? That's problematic, right? And also, I know what a fucking grifter is off top. I have my own mindset about things. I don't let no Negro, no nigga, no anybody tell me differently about where I'm at. So when you post the shit like that right there, kind of like because I am what I am. No, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that at all, my nigga. We ain't gonna do that.
We cannot have that message going to black folks not in the year of our Lord 2025.
Here's my problem with what he just said. There's a couple
it gets worse.
Right. Well, here's my thing. I asked for it, I got it. At the end of the day, though, what I'm saying to you is like that ain't getting reparations.
Come on.
My point ain't changed.
That ain't getting reparations.
No, that is not. Wait till you hear the next clip, Doc. Listen.
Okay.
One thing I ain't gonna do. No, I might have jumped. I might have jumped the gun on some things years and years and years ago. That's before the Lord whipped my butt and put some temperance and some patience in me. But no, listen to what this self-proclaimed prince of Pan-Africanism says next.
Hold on,
yes, sir.
Hold on, before you play it, because I want to talk about something that was said. We have to stop talking from talking points that Donald Trump feeds the media. This is how we know. This is how we know this brother's political point of view is immature, infantile.
That's it.
Unborn, even
juvenile. Come on.
Beyond juvenile, right? This is a toddler, not even a toddler. This is an aborted feces, not a fetus. Feces. This is aborted feces. Listen to what I'm saying. He said Donald Trump is popular. Donald Trump is not popular. All you need to do, and the people should understand what I'm saying. Donald Trump in 2024 did not get more votes than he did in 2020. He's not popular. 50% of the voting population that voted did not vote for Donald Trump. Not the ones that are eligible to vote. The ones that voted did not. He did not get a majority of Americans to believe his BS. Your definition of popular, sir, is what Donald Trump told you. Umar sitting up here with a Malcolm X shirt on with he is the enemy. Malcolm X warned us of. He is the Antichrist.
Come on.
You, sir, are the Antichrist to blackness. You are the anti-black theology. You, sir, you are the opposite of the bomb for Iliad.
Well, and I will say this right here. I do have a pure problem with anybody saying they're going to steal the election from Donald Trump. And the reason why is because I live in Fulton County. My DA is a black woman that actually had legitimate points about like not stealing the election from Donald Trump. And more importantly, it's the biggest gaslighting on the world when we are literally trying to register voters down here. And Donald Trump makes a call asking the Republican.
Oh, you're going to hate this next part.
Asking Roethlisberger to do something about the election. Who's stealing what from who?
I love Lanzetta. Lanzetta called him Malcolm L.
Malcolm L.
Malcolm L. You're going to hate this next part. Listen closely, folks.
That is the question. Are we willing to risk a social catastrophe if Donald Trump is cheated out of the election? In my opinion, Art, I believe he's the front runner. Even though they're reporting that Kamala has a slight edge, I'm not buying it. I believe Donald Trump is the front runner. And I believe he won the last election.
Whoa!
Pause.
I did not hear that part.
He won the last election.
I did not hear that part.
The big lie. Now, mind you, I got a clip of him on the Breakfast Club.
I hate your receipts, Ben.
Oh, Doc, come on, man. Come on, man. You know I'm thorough. I try to be more thorough in 2025 than I was in 2024.
So would y'all brothers and also clickbaity political thirst trap, please give me a bearing of forgiveness. Because if I don't,
you made a good point. We need reparations for Black Americans. That's a good point.
Because if I don't acknowledge where I'm wrong at, and I get pointed out for things like this right here, I'm going to actually take that L as strong as possible. Peace to my brothers. This was completely wrong, and it also went against my personal work.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
You did that work in 2020.
He's actually talking against my personal work, which kind of like I'm never going to be happy about, right? Because, nigga, you don't know. Brother, you don't know. King, you don't know. Whatever the hell you want to call yourself, you don't know, right? Like, there's not necessarily a lot of
Yeah, put that massage on the noir statement back up because I want to say something. Go ahead, Marcus.
Which one? Oh yeah.
It's fine. I just
all right, because I want you to understand that Ben. I don't want to speak for Ben because Ben has a wonderful articulate mouth pause that he can use himself. What I'm saying is I believe that Black people in America are owed reparations. Those with descendancy that they can trace back to American slavery. I also believe that brothers who came here in the 60s and 50s are owed something different than reparations, but also repair for what America has and is doing to this.
No, they're old reparations, but it's not the same reparations.
Right. So, but and I understand those two different fights. But what I want to say though is, I think for me, what blows my mind is this brother has been resulted or called the king or the prince of Pan-Africanism. Don't care about anybody except to put this statement back up, Marcus and Ben, because people need to hear this.
Well, I think that infield Wi-Fi. Did we lose him or did y'all lose me?
Nah, I'm with you.
Okay, Mundell, we lost you, bro. Are you there?
Are y'all there?
We here now. We got you. Go ahead.
Y'all see me?
I can see you now. We can hear you.
There's some weird music from my
Dr. Umar Johnson, Elon Musk, and Trump. You motherfuckers are not enough. You're not enough. What I was gonna say, listen to me. The reason I wanted it up there is because people believe this is the easy argument. It is not manosphere and misogynoir, because his followers are not black men. The people that pay him to come to cities are black women. Who's doing the work on the sisters that's paying this brother to bring him to the space simply because he's saying something about snow bunnies? But the same people are celebrating the idea that they had a black princess who married a white man.
I hear you, Doc. I hear you. Actually, you know what? In that regard, he reminded me of a lot of black preachers who build their entire platform off of black women and manipulate black women by saying exactly that you could be telling the absolute truth, right? But when your intentions behind what you take from them, Umar Johnson, there's a great video on YouTube. Guy did an expose, looked at his financials from his nonprofit, and all of the money that was raised, the vast majority still exists, but he just got to sit it in a like a low interest bearing account, like with getting like 1% interest. He's got it in a savings. He's got, at the time he had like $300,000 in a savings account. The level of ignorance behind that, sitting on $300,000 in an interest in a 1% savings account
for 5 or
6 years.
Your money is not doing anything.
Come on, man.
You could have put it in a money market account and made way more better.
But when you do that and you take from black women and don't deliver on behalf of black women, that's when I got a problem with you, especially when you're a preacher or the self-proclaimed prince of Pan. But it gets worse. Let's listen.
I believe he beat Joe Biden, but got cheated. And it don't make a difference to me who wins, because none of them care about black folks. I want to be clear about that. But I believe he beat Joe Biden. If he gets cheated again, I don't think white America takes this laying down. I cannot see white America taking this laying down if he gets cheated again. The question is, are they willing to risk a civil war, a potential civil war in this country if he's cheated again?
Why do we listen to this mess? We already saw white America when Donald Trump was not cheating in 2020. He was beat in 2020. We saw them risk. Of course, that white people for whiteness were willing to risk anything. That's why the KKK exists. That's why the White Citizen Council exists. That's why Civil War happened. That's why January 6th happened. This is not a smart point, Ben. He's a bastard.
It's not. It's not. And that's just, and I want to bring it home. I just want to, and Marcus, I ain't trying to
bring it home.
I ain't trying to make it no worse.
Oh no, I mean, listen, I don't feel any kind of way about this right here. My thing is that I'm not going to be the first person that, like, first off, like, I ain't smashing brothers like that, because there's enough of us out here doing that. Like, that's right. I'll do it. And that's just me. That's just how I approach things. So anybody got a problem with that? I'm not. Because believe it or not, I've heard, like, if I was prepared more, I've heard Umar say some amazing shit about
brother. I got plenty of clips.
So
I like them.
I'm very careful.
Like
what? Like what? Like basic
Plenty
racism and some of your same talking points.
Yeah, you don't have same talking points.
So wait, Umar Johnson has never brought up the same things about history.
Umar Johnson's anti-reparations and support Trump.
That's not.
You don't have the same talking points.
That's not what I just asked you. I just asked you, has Umar Johnson brought up some of the same points.
I say there's been some stuff that he says that I'd be like, right on, brother.
Tell me what. I just want to hear.
So again, what was the first statement I said?
Somebody give me an example.
Monday, I don't have those receipts handy.
Thank you.
All that up, right? And I'm
going to Marcus and Ben, can I ask y'all a question?
Compilate this thing and I'm going to split screen this thing.
All right.
Because but I'm not trying to I'm not trying to big up Umar. What I'm saying is like we have enough issues as it is, right? We do.
Marcus, ask your question. What's your favorite watch?
Let me finish my statement.
What's your favorite watch?
We have enough issues as it is. You brothers are absolutely right about Umar. Y'all are right about Tyreek, right? But like, here's my thing. Like, first off, I don't like my community getting grifted. That's a problem to me. And y'all showed me some very blatant examples about like being grifted. But I'm not the fall in line type of brother.
Right.
Like, and I'm gonna agree with what I think is right when it's right, and I'm gonna agree with like I don't have like some set standard like a brother's cut off just because he said something that I don't like. Because if I was gonna do that, Mondale, me and you would never be talking.
Say more.
What you mean by that? Say more. You already know that, bro. We've been fighting since 2019, right? Like it's like so. What are you talking about, right? Here's my thing. Like here's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, right? Like these are valid points, and I don't like people going against my work. And also, at the end of the day, the only thing I care about is the civics of passing laws as Black people.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Ben and Marcus, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Do y'all both own watches?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do me a favor. This is an experiment. Take the batteries out of your watch. Not right now. Don't physically do it. But if you did,
man, I can't.
Hold on, listen.
I can't take my batteries
hold
out.
on, listen. All right. Let's stop your watch from working right now. What time would your watch say if you stopped it from working right now?
Probably like 6:15 because I ain't used that.
All right, so let's just say it would say 10:22 for the sake of time right now, right?
Yeah.
How many times out of 24 hours would your watch be right?
Twice.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right now. Cool.
You know what, bro?
I'm gonna shut up right now.
Okay, hey, listen here, guitar Joe, right? Like, hey, Joe. Yeah. So no, Mondale, you're absolutely right? Like, there are like, if we can look at anybody in this game the same way, right? But also like holistically. And here's my thing: I'm not following nobody like that. I'm not the same way that I came at TYT, right? Like when you first dropped this, said, nah, I'm not rocking with them. I was like, what? The reason why I don't do that is because here's my thing. I try to look at the benefits of things and also how do we get the most votes without isolating people. And that is my whole thing. Am I going to be like popular on fucking CNN or TYT or even Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, my own show? Maybe not. But I want us to win.
Marcus, can I give you something else that I know you do? I appreciate it because you pushed me to go and collect all the receipts that I had on TYT. You asked for receipts. That's all you asking for.
That's it, man.
You asking for receipts. So here's some more.
You are asking for cash. Then your reparations list ain't worth much.
That's what I said.
Because your reparations list will put you in a position to make all the money.
We laughed through the first part. Listen to the first part again.
You are asking for cash. Then your reparations list ain't worth much.
That's what I said.
Because your reparations list should put you in a position to make all the money you want on your own. What you need to pay out from info? Black people.
Stop for a second.
He said if you're asking for cash, hold on, because it's important. He said if you're asking for cash, then your reparation movement ain't worth much. This is the same man who's asking for money.
Now let it play. I want to hear the whole thing.
Hold on. We're gonna let it play, but what I'm trying to say, we want to break it down in segments. Listen, This man is trying to discredit people for saying that black people, first of all, reparation is a real thing, and it's not just based on black people. Plenty of people have had reparations throughout the history of the world and civilizations.
Cash reparations.
It's part of it. It's part of it.
Coin reparations.
But this is the same man who is asking poor people to fund a school for him. It's not been built. Go ahead, Ben.
All right, let's from the beginning, everybody. I'm talking to the audience. I know y'all listen, brother.
You are asking for cash, then your reparations list ain't worth much.
That's what I said.
Because your reparations list should put you in a position to make all the money you want on your own. What you need to pay out from info. But black people are so worried about money that we can't see the bigger picture. We also fail to recognize that reparations is not just for us living, it's for those gone and those not yet here. I ain't heard nobody talk about how much we're going to put to the side for the generations unborn yet.
Facts.
Yeah, so
Facts.
And that's why I believe that this generation of blacks in America.
He's not saying nothing.
I'll handle it for you guys. The
Go ahead.
problem with this statement is that reparations is justice. I don't give a damn how black people spend it on. I don't give a damn what they wasted it on. I don't give a damn what they do with it. Reparations is justice. Point blank, right? So like, unless you don't believe in justice, don't judge whether my cousin is gonna go get an ounce of weed or my other friend is about to get some snow from Colombia and does whatever he has to with it, because I promise you there's going to be, for every 2 people that do that, there's going to be 10 people that actually start a damn business and get people working. There's going to be a lot more people that take their money and buy a new house and create equity for themselves and their families and their future generations of black people. So I'm not dumb. What he just said was cap as hell, bro. We can't play like that. Like, if we start trivializing, ooh, yeah, this is what they might do with the money. Nigga, you can't tell me what I'm gonna do with my money.
Why does he look? Somebody said, why does he look like a Muppet from the waist down, bro?
Hold on, and he's gonna draw a picture.
And you gotta draw that picture.
Oh, he's gonna draw a picture.
Here we go.
Wait, he's gonna draw a picture.
Wait a minute, Marcus. It gets worse.
America, we shouldn't get the reparations. We are too irresponsible.
Ain't ready.
We will waste it.
Yeah.
Put the reparations in a trust somewhere until we get a more revolutionary, more conscious group of blacks. Let them decide what to do with it. We ain't there.
Yeah.
Look at all the bunny hopping we do. What we doing with reparations?
Easter Sunday.
No. So we can blow the money. I had a sister text me one day. You know what she said? Can you stop talking against reparations? Because I need that money to pay my bills.
Oh man, short-minded.
Reparations is to repair, not to pay your damn weed bill.
Fix my debt.
Oh man, pause it real quick. Here's what people didn't catch. How that sister get your phone number, Bama?
Huh?
You sneaky bastard trying to sleep with every sister in every city you go to. How she get your phone number? You playing games. How a sister gonna text you telling you stop speaking against reparations? And if you don't like her wavelength, why you on the same wavelength that somebody got your phone number? Man, I don't like people like this. I don't like people like this.
Yeah, the problem that I have with it is okay, well done, Ben. Well done. Because in real time. No, wait.
It's Ben Dig 'em Up Dixon, dog. Ben Dig 'em Up Dixon.
Yeah.
Dig 'em up Dixon.
Dog. In a hole, Dixon. Which way?
I'm gonna say.
Hey, depending on which side of the shovel you want, Ben.
That shit is problematic, and here's why it's problematic. I'm not picking and choosing. I'm not making enemies. But guess what? I ain't scared of nobody either, because you got a real problem with me. Come see me. Y'all both know what I'm on, so it is what it is. What I'm saying is very simple. Reparations is owed to us, and it doesn't matter what the hell any black person does with the money. I don't care if they sit on it, because there's gonna be some old black ladies once they get reparations that's gonna cash their check out and put that money under their doggone mattress, and they're gonna leave it there, and they might die with it. right?
There's
gonna be some black people that get their reparations check and go and re-up. There's gonna be some black people who get their reparations check and buy 4 or 5 houses in cheap neighborhoods in different cities. Because reparations is owed to us, right? Like, so fault yourself, white America, if you think, fault yourself, Umar, fault yourself to whoever, if you think that we shouldn't get the money and then all of a sudden we supposed to spend it in a certain way.
My God.
See, that's the problem. Like,
my God.
And it's so neoliberal that it's stupid.
Yep.
Right? It's so neoliberal. You can get reparations as long as you sign up to this Jim Clyburn sponsored blah, 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 because that's exactly what Umar is doing right now. The only way we can get the money for reparations and the things that are owed to us from our ancestors' deaths, pain, lack of prosperity.
Yep.
Is we have to have certain stipulations, like another generation has to go by, so we can actually like prosper from it, because you don't trust the current. Man, the next generation is might even do worse, right? There's no government entity that actually teaches black people finances, but there are enough black people that care about the community. There are enough black people that care about the community that will take their reparations and change our whole community. FOA. Can
I just say one thing real quick? Marcus, can I say one thing real quick? A bastard that you and I don't like his politics, but we love his raps, Jay-Z, just scored something for black community college. I mean, black HBCUs that I don't think that we know about. That, I mean, when we're not talking about, he just forced what's the school? What's the business school that all the crackers go to? Donald Trump went to.
Wharton.
Donald Trump
do it.
Wharton?
Yeah, I mean, his dad spent $25 million for a building.
I want to go to Wharton.
No. Listen. So Wharton now is doing a program with HBCUs to teach black folk literacy. So I'm thinking to myself, why are we paying Wharton that money to teach black folk literacy instead of talking to a black billionaire to teach him how he did it? Because that's going to be more realistic. We got 2 Johnsons. They divorced. They still Johnsons, and they both billionaires. Why they ain't teaching black people how to be billionaires? Billionaires. Even though I believe billionaire is too much, but rich is necessary in this environment. I need to go dance with my wife before we get back to work. You know, we've been on for a couple hours. I do want to say
it's a longer show.
I don't mind that, but you know why? Because that's the beauty of clickbaity. That's the nature of Squirrel Game, and I need y'all to share and subscribe for that reason. Sometimes we go on deeper dives into our community than any platform you're ever gonna find. You know what you're never gonna be able to get away with? Grifting on this platform. Neither one of us is gonna allow the other one to say that that's real. You're gonna hear Marcus say that's cap, cuss me out. You're gonna hear Ben laugh and be like, that ain't true, and pull up the receipts. Or you're gonna hear me lose my damn mind and scream my head off. That's the beauty of 3 black men who ain't owned or bought by each other or anybody else for that matter.
That part.
Yeah, ain't nobody bought me. Like
when people tell you progressives don't disagree, just tell them they don't know any black progressives. And more specifically, they don't know Ben, Marcus, and Mundell. And then the way they can fix that is by tuning in on Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
That's a good way to close the show, Doc. I felt that energy.
Yeah,
Marcus, what you got?
Hey, man. Hey, be loved. Blessed ones. I love all of you. Stay blessed and continue to enjoy your new year.
Same here. I got nothing more to say. I'll say less. We'll see y'all next time.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap Hey, let me hear ya. Trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it.